You ever met someone who made the hairs on your neck stand up? Someone who didn't have to say a word, but their presence alone sent a chill through your bones? That's what she was. Silent, eerie, and unforgettable. It started on a cold November night. The kind of night where the wind howled through the streets like it had something to say. I was walking home from work, my breath coming out in white clouds, when I first saw her. She stood under the flickering streetlight, dressed in a long dark coat. Her hair, jet black, fell past her shoulders, and her face, pale as a ghost, was expressionless. She didn't shiver, didn't move, just stared. At first I thought she was just another lost soul wandering the city, but something about her made me stop. She wasn't looking at anything, or maybe she was. Maybe she was looking right through me. I picked up my pace, shaking off the unease, but when I reached my apartment, I turned back. She was gone. The next night, she was there again. Same spot, same stillness. My skin prickled. Maybe she lived nearby. Maybe she was waiting for someone. I forced myself to ignore it and went inside. But as I shut my door, something inside me whispered, "She's not waiting, she's watching." Days passed. She was always there, never moving, never speaking. My friends said I was imagining things, that it was just some weird coincidence. But one night, I decided to test it. I left work early. The sun was just setting, the streets still busy. I walked home, glancing over my shoulder every few minutes. She wasn't there. Relief washed over me. Maybe I had been overthinking. But as I reached my door, my phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. "You're early." My heart stopped. My hands trembled as I typed back, "Who is this?" No reply. I looked out my window, scanning the street below. Empty. But I could feel it. That awful stomach-churning sensation of being watched. I didn't sleep that night. Every creak, every rustle sent me into panic. But morning came, and for the first time in days, she wasn't there. I convinced myself it was over. Maybe just some prank. But then, the notes started appearing, slipped under my door, scrawled in shaky handwriting. "Do you remember me? I never forgot you. You should have helped me." I didn't understand. My mind raced through the people I had met in my life, but nothing clicked. The messages kept coming, growing more frantic, more desperate. Then, one night, my door was unlocked. I knew I had locked it. I knew I had. But it was wide open, swaying slightly as if someone had just stepped inside. My stomach turned to ice. I grabbed the nearest object, a lamp, and crept through my apartment. Every shadow felt like it was hiding something. I checked the bathroom, the kitchen, the bedroom. Nothing. Then I saw it. A photograph on my coffee table, one I had never seen before. It was me, years ago. Smiling, young, standing in front of my childhood home, and next to me, a little girl. Dark hair, pale skin, eyes full of something unreadable. I felt my breath hitch. I didn't recognize her, but she clearly knew me. That's when the whispers started. At first, just a faint rustling sound in the air, then clearer. "Bruce!" My blood turned to ice. I spun around, heart hammering. No one there, but I felt it, felt her. Memories started surfacing, pieces of a puzzle I didn't even know I was solving. A little girl who used to follow me around when I was a kid, always quiet, always watching. The girl from the house at the end of the street, the girl who went missing. And just like that, I remembered. The rumors, the stories, how she was locked away by her own parents, how no one saw her for years, and how one night she vanished without a trace. The guilt hit me like a freight train. I'd known something was wrong. I had seen the bruises, the hollow look in her eyes, but I did nothing. I walked away, and now she was back. I ran to my door, flinging it open. The hallway was empty, but the air was heavy, like she was still there, just beyond my sight. My phone buzzed again. Another message. "I waited for you." I stumbled back, my breath ragged. I needed to leave. Now I grabbed my keys, but before I could step outside, the lights flickered, and the door slammed shut on its own. A whisper behind me. "It's too late." And then, darkness. When I woke up, I was lying in my childhood home. The air was thick with dust, the wallpaper peeling. I scrambled to my feet, my pulse racing. This place had been abandoned for years. How did I get here? Footsteps, slow, deliberate. Then she stepped into the light. The same dark coat, the same pale face, but her eyes. They weren't empty anymore. They were filled with something I couldn't explain, a sorrow so deep it made my chest ache. She lifted a hand, pointed to the corner of the room. I followed her gaze and saw a small wooden door, a door I had never noticed before. I swallowed hard. My body screamed at me to run, but something pulled me forward. I reached out, my fingers trembling, and pushed it open. The stench hit me first. Damp, rotting wood. Something else beneath it, something worse. I hesitated, then stepped inside, and there, in the dim glow of my phone's flashlight, I saw them. Bones, small, fragile, and a single piece of paper folded neatly beside them. "You could have saved me." A sob rose in my throat. This was her grave. She had never run away. She had never escaped. She had died here, alone, forgotten. I turned, tears blurring my vision. But she was gone. The air felt lighter, empty, like she had finally found peace. I left that house and never looked back. But some nights, when the wind howls through the streets, I feel it again. That quiet, suffocating presence. And I know she's still there, watching, waiting, because I may have remembered her too late. But she has never forgotten me. Can you tell me what I should do to forget her forever?